Hello, everyone, and welcome to Level Up Next, where we talk about our Level Up educational series. If you haven't been to one, they're where you take what you're building to the next level. It's a wonderful, fun product deep dive, and you can learn all sorts of stuff about whatever you're interested in. And we have one tomorrow. The one that's coming up tomorrow is called Level Up with Voice Intelligence, gaining insight from your voice calls, which is super awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's tomorrow. The show that you're watching right now, though, is called Level Up Next. It's a bit of a portmanteau that we're kind of proud of. Level Up and Up Next. And if you put them together, it's Level Up Next. And that's what we're watching right now. We're watching this. And what you get to do here, this is like when you show up to the movies early and you get to see behind the scenes of what's happening, and you get to be with people who are actually talking. And you don't normally get to do that very often when you come to some of these educational events. You don't get to meet the speaker, but that's what you get to do here at Level Up Next. So I have with me today Kaelyn Creschfield. Now, you might recognize her from the developer keynote at Signal. If you haven't seen it, here she is. Here's Kaelyn right here. Welcome, Kaelyn.
Hi, Craig. Thanks for having me. This is so exciting.
So excited to have you here, and so excited to have you behind the scenes so we can talk a little bit about your Level Up, which, by the way, you should register for. Kaelyn, do you use QR codes?
I try to use QR codes, especially at events. It's a lot easier to send out information that way and receive feedbacks whenever I have a talk. So yeah, QR codes are bomb.
Yeah, some people are afraid of QR codes, and I want people not to be afraid of QR codes. In fact, I'm going to bring up a QR code. We're going to bring up a QR code, and what I want the people at home to do is click this and register to come see Kaelyn talk about Level Up Next, right? We want you to come to her Level Up, which is tomorrow at 10 a.m. And register for it, even if you've got something on your calendar at that time. What's going to happen is you're going to get an email, and then you will get a recording of what happened. And trust me, you want to see that. And let's get to know Kaelyn a little bit more. Kaelyn, I learned something about you when you were doing the developer keynote. You said, I used to be a teacher, and I would love to learn about that experience. Tell me about your teaching experience.
Yeah, I used to be a teacher. I actually used to teach software development at a nonprofit coding bootcamp school. It was really awesome. So the premise was they wanted to get underrepresented groups to join the tech field. So awesome. Even though all of my students came from different backgrounds, the commonality that we all had was coding. And it was really awesome to see coding bring everyone together. Almost
That's
like
so cool.
Evangelism.
Yeah, totally. And Kaelyn, you are a developer evangelist here, which you go out and you share all things Twilio, and you're like literally everywhere, which I'm so excited. People have probably seen you like, oh, I know her. I was at that event, and that's where I talked to her about Twilio.
Conference, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So when you were doing this teaching, what was the first lesson that you ever taught there?
That's a good question. The first lesson that I would always teach is variables and simple data types. And although it sounds simple, it was actually one of the hardest lessons to give because, it's the first introduction that people have to coding. You want to make it fun, you want to make it light, but you want to make sure everyone understands so they get interested in it. So it's
Yeah.
funny. It actually took about 5 iterations of teaching that class in order to get it perfect.
Ooh,
But
nice. What?
teaching jQuery higher order functions, those took like 2. But
Yeah.
that first impression is so important.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. What was your final analogy that you used for variables? Do you remember? After five
oh,
times? Yeah.
it was the bucket. So it's funny.
Ah.
I actually used to bring in a crate and ask people to put their stuff inside of the bucket and, pretend like I'm not going to give you back your cell phone. But, I used to bring in a crate and ask everyone to put things in. But, if you're going to reassign a variable, you have to take something out and put something
Right,
new
right.
in. So try to make it as hands-on as possible.
Oh, that's so clever. I love it. I love it. All right, let's talk a little bit then. Let's talk a little bit about thinking to those students that you were teaching at the time. What was the first program that you ever wrote?
Ooh. It's funny. I was actually in the same coding boot camp that I taught. And one of our MVP projects, I decided to build a mood stabilizer app. So, throughout the program, tensions are always high, everyone's stressed. So I was like, let me make an app to send different beats to people to sort of stabilize their mood. So it's like if they were feeling anxious, something to bring them down. If they were feeling tired, something to wake them up. So just something to help my fellow students throughout the process.
Awesome, awesome. What can you give an example? What's something that happened through that? Like if I were to use it right now,
If you were to
like how
use
to
it
go.
right now, I think you might be a little disappointed in the UI first.
It's your first
First and
program.
yeah, it was my first like it worked, but it was not super pretty. So whenever you get on the page, it's ask you, what are you feeling? And then if you press stress, then it would send you something, calming. So I think it would like go by the hertz. So it would go something that's like low in hertz or something that was just like really calming.
Okay,
I,
okay,
I like
awesome.
to call it buffet music. Like, the
Buffet
music
music.
you hear at a
Yeah,
buffet, yeah, it's always
yeah,
like really
yeah. Right,
soothing and calm.
right, right, right. Not to
But
be
you'd hear
confused with
something
with
like that.
Buffett, with Jimmy Buffett
No,
music.
no.
No.
What would that sound like?
Awesome. Okay, so that was your first line of code. What was your most recent line of code? And it's okay if it was fixing typos. What was the most recent line of code that you wrote?
Do bugs count? Because
Absolutely, absolutely.
so it's funny, I'm actually working on this bug. I hope none of my students are watching because it's fixing a circular structure to JSON. Uh,
Oh,
I know, and I know how to fix it. I've fixed it before, but right now, sometimes you just get a little bit removed from things. So I'm trying to figure out why I am, referencing itself. Why am I referencing this object in itself?
oh,
We
gotcha.
might have to have a huddle after this
Let's do it.
to
Let's
figure
do
out what's
it.
going on.
I would love to rubber duck for you on that.
Yeah, pair
That's awesome.
programming never stops, even
Yeah,
after school.
exactly. Right, right. Okay, so tomorrow, the
Tomorrow.
13th, September 13th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, you are going to be talking at a level up where you're going to talk about level up with voice intelligence. I would like to give a
Yeah.
sneak peek. We don't want to, like when you do a trailer, when there's a trailer and that kind of
Mhm.
gives it all away. I don't want you to give it away. No spoilers in this trailer, but I want you to
That's
talk
gonna
a
be
little bit.
hard.
Yeah, I know. Keep the excitement. And if people want to see,
Exciting. Ugh,
they can click this link to register and they'll see the recording. But
yeah.
like, just tell them a little bit about what they can expect.
Okay, well, custom ooh, voice intelligence, that's our new feature, our new customer AI feature that's, a part of that perception engine that Jeff was talking about at the uh, Vision keynote. So it's in public beta right now, and it's able to gain insight from voice calls. So imagine, you're working at a company and you're receiving voice calls every day about problems that you're having, things that you need to be replaced, etc. But where is all that information going? It's sort of going in the person's ear and they're going to try their best to help, but none of that information is going to be conveyed to the sales team or the marketing team. And that's where voice intelligence comes into play. It's able to listen to your voice calls, grab the important data, and send it elsewhere for it to be processed. And yeah.
Awesome. That's super. That's super powerful. I'm gonna cut you off there before you give the spoiler. I saw
It was
you about
hard.
ready
It
to
was
give the
really hard.
spoiler.
I was about to
That was
go in, but thank you. I'm
That's
so
awesome.
excited.
So we're gonna get to see it. We're gonna get to see that happening. You'll do some demos
All of it.
of it happening. See what's. Oh man, I am so excited for that. So please, everybody, make sure to register for that. Again, that's that QR code. Don't be afraid of the QR code. I also see that we've been dropping the links. Brent's been helping out, dropping links there in the channel. Make sure if you're ready, register for it. Get it on your calendar. You'll get a reminder. You'll get an email of it coming up. You know, with the voice stuff, since you are a developer evangelist and you get to focus on voice, which I personally, that's one of my favorite products here. I
It
started over there in
is.
voice. Yeah, I love it. I
Nice.
absolutely
I
love it.
didn't know that. You
Yeah,
started in
yeah.
voice?
I started in I was working on the docs for voice. So if you run into some problems with the
Ah.
docs, that wasn't me. I was so
Hmm. Kidding, it was
um,
you.
you should I would love to know, there's so many awesome use cases for voice. I would love to know what is your favorite use case that you've seen people use voice for.
My favorite use case, I would have to say voicemail. Voicemail is so complex and it's so underrated, but trying to figure out whenever a call instead of, I'm sorry, receiving a recorded call instead of receiving a human on the other line, that tech is really specific, but it's really cool to try to figure out, especially when it comes to voicemails that are in different languages. So if, a call comes in, let's say the voicemail is in Spanish, trying to decipher that, hey, this is actually a recording and not someone speaking in just Spanish. So that's my favorite use case because it's so complex. And you would never guess that. You would
Yeah.
never guess that voicemail would be difficult.
Yeah. And I love that, like, it's, before working at Twilio, I had never really thought about voice as like an input output device, right? Like that, like we could do this, like send text and it does the text to speech, and then we could get input and like transcribe and all that magic stuff. Like I think that that's so much fun, like, because now you can write programs that interact to when phone numbers happen. Like one of my favorite ones, Kaelyn, I've got this, I put this number, I had this number printed on all of my things. This is 1903 500 7655. I put this on all the things. I put this on my kids' clothes. Everybody should just give this thing a call and see this use case for this. This is one of my favorite use cases, because now I'm not giving out my actual phone number. I don't want somebody to find my kids lose water bottles, there's like they don't even know. I don't even think they put them in their hands. I think they just drop them. so it's super handy. I use that all the time, and when people find it and they give the call to that number, it's a great experience. And I use some voicemail technology in there. I use Play so that it actually hears my voice, so it's worth calling. So again, that number is 1903 500 7655, and that's rad that you could just program to that. And like Kaelyn, like we're talking about, I am so excited to take this farther, right? Like not only can you get voice from people, but you can also do voice intelligence, and you can see what happens there. So and get insights, right? Like you get valuable insights on what's happening
There's
across.
so much in phone calls that people don't think to actually, write down, take note of. That information is so valuable, especially when you think about, whenever you have an issue, let's say you have an issue with your Wi-Fi. What do? You call in. You're not going to submit a ticket because you never know when that's going to be resolved. You want to speak to a human as soon as possible.
Yeah, and if your Wi-Fi is down, how am I even going to do that, right?
That's an even better point, yeah. If internet is down, voice will still be up. Yeah. So you need to capture that information somehow. How are they going to know that there's a mass outage unless, they're gathering that data? So yeah, there's a lot of information that can be said back and forth in a voice call.
Yeah.
Underrepresented, but
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So Kaelyn, I always like to let people you're traveling all over the place. I know that you're headed places. Right. So yes. Where can people go to see you, to meet you in person? Because you got some events happening, right?
I do. I have a few events coming up actually. So next week I'll actually be in St. Louis for the Strange Loop conference.
Oh,
Come
I
find
love
the
that
Twilio
conference.
booth there. I love Strange Loop, and guess what? I believe this is their last year of hosting it.
No
So,
way.
yeah,
Wow. So come,
I-
go see Kaylin see Kaylin tomorrow on the Level Up, and then go see Kaylin at Strange Loop. Wow.
next
Awesome.
Thursday, yes. And then
Yeah.
after that, if you are tuning in from the UK, come see me at Signal London. We're gonna
Oh,
have
yeah.
in-person Signal event. I was fortunate enough to be at the virtual Signal. Now you can also come see me in person, where I'll also be doing a demo about voice intelligence. But come and see everyone else. We're going to be talking about messaging, comms, come and check us out. There's going
Awesome.
to be covered.
And Kaylin, if people missed Signal, which I can't, some people must have accidentally missed it. Maybe they had something else going on. You can watch that on demand now, and I highly recommend it. So signal.twilio.com. Go check that there. You can watch the developer keynote where Kaylin talks there. She demos some awesome stuff in that keynote on that beautiful podcast set that was there. So yeah.
And it's going to be up for the next 11 months now. It's
Oh
going to be
yeah.
a whole year. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely go check that out. Um, we want to make sure that if you want to see other level ups that are out, we got twill.io/level ups. And yeah, make sure that you register here. And we really want to see you come tomorrow, learn about this. And again, Kaylin, register, right? They want to register. They'll get a recording of it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be live. And we're going to have time for questions and any sort of things that you might have with that. I would love to see you there. Kaylin would love to see you there. So click this QR code. Click it. Can you click it? Is that called clicking? What's it called? I don't think we have a verb for it. Is there a verb for QR codes? What do you scan the QR
Scan.
code? Scan. That's it. That just came to me. That idea came to me. Scan the QR code. All right. Awesome. So please register to come see this. You'll get an email. We'd love to hang out, and we'd love to see you at all future level ups as we go. I hope that you enjoyed getting your time here to meet Kaylin. Kaylin, anything last things that you want to plug?
Yes, actually, there are a few links that you guys can definitely check out to prepare yourself for tomorrow. Now, voice intelligence, even though it's under the programmable voice product, if you haven't heard about programmable voice, or if you're new to Twilio, definitely check out some of our docs, our articles. We're going to dive right in. So definitely check out some other information before you join us if you're new to Twilio, but we can't wait to have you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. We can't wait to see what you build there with this voice intelligence and learn all that's happening going on here. So there's some actually, if you're interested, there's some beginning level ups, right? So we take these and they go level by level, and this is kind of farther up the level as we go, as Kaylin was saying there. So there's a beginning voice thing if you want to go in there and play and see what that feels like. There's some voicemail applications that we build in there. I think there's some media stream stuff even. Yeah. So twill.io/level ups. To get started there, and then there's all these great links that Brent is dropping in the chat here. So awesome! We'd love to see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. Thank you, Kaylin, for being here, being behind the scenes, and I cannot wait for tomorrow. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard.